blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Hello and welcome to According to Courtney. I'm Courtney West. I'm a full spectrum doula, childbirth educator, birth nerd, and everything in between. And welcome to my show. On this show, we talk about everything from mental health, emotional health, the little birth things in between. But a lot of times right now, it's just about how to fill your cup. And today I am super excited to share two amazing people that I know very well, and you guys actually know very well, who are coming to join us today. So I want to start off by saying, let me bring in Troy. Welcome to my show. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. And then Doc Z. Oh, it's so good to see you back on According to Courtney.
Yes, it's good to be back on According to Courtney and on Blast platform with somebody else being a mastermind besides me. So I'm here for it. Yes.
I love it. And Blast has missed you. So we are happy that you are back and spending time today. So I want to kind of open it up how I normally do and then really get into what we're talking about today and why I have you two amazing people in space today. So Troy, let's just get a little bit about you. How I start out the show, I always ask the same three questions. You know, where are you from or where are your people from? What's the origin of your name, and what would you like to leave in the space?
Sure. Where I'm from, I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. I've been all over the place. Born in Boston, Massachusetts. Had a stunt in Dallas, Texas. Lived in the United States Virgin Islands for 6 years. After I graduated high school, went back to Texas. Moved to Florida. Moved to Jersey, got married. From Jersey to Florida. And here I am. As far as my name goes, I do know that Troy is also derived from the word soldier or foot soldier. And the last name, Saha, actually, I've heard is Indian, and it also means good health. So I'm a soldier of good health. So I'll take it.
All right.
That's perfectly named.
Yes. Soldier of good health.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. So that's, in a nutshell, that's basically me. Did you ask about anything else? I apologize.
What, if anything, you would want to leave in the space that people will remember with you? What would that be?
That's a great question. Let's put it this way. I am loyal by default. And I like to just let people not only feel, but know that they're worthy, that they're wanted, that they're valued. And that's just something I, across the board, try to show to people, that they're worth something to me. So I hope that they feel that in turn.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, Miss Zaneta, can you give us a recap for people who may not have got a chance to meet you, or they have met you and they've not known these aspects of you? Zaneta, what's your name, the origin of your name, where you're from, and what's something you will want to leave in this space for people?
Okay, so my name is Zaneta Ellison. Zaneta is Hebrew, and it means God's gracious gift. My mom named me, and humbly speaking, but just knowing myself and sitting in what I know about me and why I'm on this earth, I feel like it's relevant. Like it made sense for that to be my name, right? Um, and I'm born and raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. Been here my entire life. Yes. Outside of going to Tallahassee for college, and I've been here. I threaten to leave this place every year, but I'm still here.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a St. Pete thing, y'all. You got to understand. It's a different kind of bubble and a different kind of beast here, okay?
Yeah, it really is. Yep, good and bad. So
yes.
That's where I'm
hilarious.
from. What'd you say, Troy?
I said that's hilarious. I think we've all threatened to leave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time. Still here.
Still here. I guess it's still work to be done here, Courtney.
That part.
That part.
What do I want to leave? I guess transparency and authenticity. That's all I want to leave in this space. Whatever comes up will be authentic and as transparent as I am.
I love that, and I appreciate that. I am so excited to have you guys here because it's interesting because this is a topic that I have talked about with both of you in depth, and it's imposter syndrome. And I think I know people really don't understand what imposter syndrome is. And to be very transparent, I didn't know what imposter syndrome is. And it took Doc Z to actually show that in me and getting to learn what those things are. And I can say in my own journey, I learned how to, I won't say conquer because it's still a journey, but be able to move through it with both of these people who have helped me do this through the years. So, Zaneta, I would like to actually go to you. Can you explain to people what imposter syndrome is?
Sure. It's a person's perceived, I'm going to use that word, perceived impression of themselves not being as authentic as either other people think they are or as they want to be. So it's their perceived fear that they are seen as not as authentic as they really are. In that comes, not feeling like you're deserving of anything good that happens. It just happened to happen to you. So it's almost like when a person just does not feel adequate enough to really be who they really are.
That's a wonderful way to sum that up. Troy, do you know what imposter syndrome is, and have you ever experienced anything like that?
Just so you know, that's like my middle name in most cases, because I deal with a lot of decisions sometimes that I feel I should pass the buck. I'm not qualified, or someone else should handle it. And honestly, I feel the good Lord has allowed me to be in these situations so that I handle it. I do dangerous prayers. And what I mean by that is I say, God, help me get comfortable with being in uncomfortable situations.
Ooh, that is
yeah.
I ain't said that prayer before. I be saying the opposite. God, Creator, please remove me from this. I am not the one, the two, the three, or the four. No, I don't want it.
Lord, make me comfortable. I want to be comfortable.
Yes, I'm praying for that all the time.
The reason why I pray that prayer is because I'm tired of being where I am. And until you get comfortable with being in uncomfortable situations, you're not going to see growth in your life. You'll be doing the same stupid thing. We know the definition of insanity. I'm constantly thinking something's going to change, but I'm not changing, so nothing's going to change. So until I say I'm going to let my personal feelings not get affected with business, someone can be talking to me about business or something I do business wise, and I would get offended. That's my mistake. I need to now realize it's the business situation that's irritating them. Yes, it may be in your hands that's doing it. But once you switch that mindset and realize it's not a personal attack on you, it's just how you're handling something. Change that so that you can, focus take care of that job right, and then it may be a new avenue for you. So basically, I just learned to keep my head down and just go forward. And that's what I've been doing lately. But now I want to go into places. I want to see people. I want to shake hands with people I normally wouldn't. And the only way to do that is to change my attitude, to increase my altitude. And that's the way I've been looking at it.
That's good.
I love that.
Thank you.
I'm so not like that. I appreciate you. Well, I think it's because it's what I do. I have to be on all the time. So like you're doing speaking engagements, you're in a birth. It's very intimate. And my work and in nursing, even my work is me. So because I work on such one-on-one intimate things, what you're judging is me. And so I'm constantly in that run of I have to be better, I have to be better, or I have to be this perception, I have to be this, I have to meet it, I have to meet it, I meet it. It doesn't matter if inside I'm dying inside. It doesn't matter that I may be broken in that moment. I'm not allowed to be broken because it's a job to do, and your job is me. I am the selling point. So I can say for me, I have always had severe imposter syndrome because I have a theater background. I've done theater from the time I was a child up, and it's drained into your head. There's always someone better than you. Nothing you do is good enough until I get the perfect shot. So you may do a show and run that same piece 50 million times to catch that one good time, and then it's still not good enough because you have to make it even better. And so I've always been under that thought process of that. So it's very difficult for me to take compliments because I've always been drained in me. There's always someone prettier than you. There's always someone better than you. There's always something from every aspect, from theater to home life, even because growing up in most spaces, I was the only Black person in those spaces. So from middle school to productions, I was it. So I didn't get that opportunity to be nothing else. You had to be exceptional or you were nothing.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand those things. So even when I'm in an arena with a bunch of people, and I could be the professional know-how of that, because I've honed it so much, in the back of my mind, I've always been, you can be better.
Yeah.
And it's very detrimental in a way. And I've done more work on it because I have daughters, because I don't want them to feel like that.
Yeah.
But even then, I had to, until very recently, my children, they see me cry or upset about something, but never see me be like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how to heal. I don't know how this goes. They've never seen that of me. And it threw me because I was like, oh, I messed up.
Yeah. Wow, that's something that, like, you know, that mentality or that belief system that they ingrained in y'all, you know, that there's somebody better. It's almost like it was a double-edged sword, because that fear, you know, drove you to be excellent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it created a sense of excellence in your craft, in your work, but it also fostered a level of insecurity and, you know, and fear, because it's like, oh, I gotta perform all the time or be at 10 all the time because there's somebody around the corner who could just, you know, knock me off of my post, who is better than me. Yeah,
absolutely. Literally, word for word, that's what I was told. There was someone who will come and knock you right off your feet. And then what are you? And so it really took a back to me, and having to learn through that. And it took, honestly, until last year, when I thought I would not be able to do birth work, I would not be able to nurse. And the same person who helped put me in that mind spot, it's like, it's just a position, it's just a job. It's not that big a deal. I had to turn to him like, do you know what you've told me all my life? All my life. And now you're telling me everything I have striven to do doesn't matter. I said, that's the part you don't get. There is no separation. There has been no separation. When you buy a package, you're buying me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the look on their face was like, but it was interesting because it was the first time that person recognized they've done that. And they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's a
problem. But it made you so great. Like, it made you so good at, you know, what you do now. You know, it's like it almost explains why your quality, you know what I'm saying? It almost explains the level of excellence you put in your work because of that mindset. And nobody knows about the secret pain or insecurity it created within you but you. You know what I'm saying? It's like the outside world gets to take advantage of that thing that drives us, right? That drives us to be who we are and what we contribute to the world and how, you know, the good things about us. But they don't know the cost that, you know, and the toll that it takes or puts on us in order to do that. All we see is LeBron James performing, getting 3-pointers, getting shoot, but we don't see him sitting in ice baths. We don't see him going through physical therapy. We don't see you know, the pain getting out of bed, that the excruciating pain he has to go through to show up on that court and bust it out. Yeah.
True enough.
Do you think that's why so many people who are successful deal with this is because, and we don't talk about it, because do you think it helps to, if we talked about that, would it make us more human? Is that good or bad?
Yeah.
Because when you've been trained like that, that's never been a concept that you've been ever allowed to think about. Well, if I am vulnerable, is that good or bad? And I'm learning that now. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to do it. And we just see what happens. But I think I wonder sometimes why successful people have that thought process.
I think so. I think because, you know, admitting that is making you so vulnerable to where it's like, me admitting this almost be giving away, you know, like, I don't know, like, it's almost as if like, it minimizes my greatness if I actually am able to show how much this really hurts or what I'm really going through, you know, like when I think about, you look at these people who've committed suicide in the past, and you're like, what? I never would have thought. Like, what's his name? The actor who was so funny that was in Good Morning Vietnam. What was his name?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
I mean, he was so funny. Every time you saw him, he was lit up. He was funny, but he was struggling with depression so much. And I wonder how much of an imposter syndrome he had, that he felt like he couldn't let somebody know that he was Clark Kent. He needed to stay Superman, because if people really knew what Clark Kent was going through, you know, and because of that, you know, he took his own life. And I remember, you know, when I started becoming really not comfortable, when I started really getting an understanding of suicide and normalizing how it could just happen to anybody, I remember, you know, when I was feeling that way, like not wanting to be here, wanting to take my life. And I remember saying, who can I really tell this to? If I get Baker acted, I lose my license. I got to go in front of the board. They potentially will not let me practice. Here, I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. Let me just keep going.
Yep. Wow.
Wow. You know? And it's like, you know, and so it's hard. It's hard for people who are really significant, doing significant things in this world, to be vulnerable and say, hey, listen, I really don't think I'm all that great. Like this, you know, this role, this identity is killing me slowly, or it takes everything I have to show up for you or to show up in this capacity.
Wow. You got me about to cry, because I identify with all of that. Being a former behavioral nurse, is like, I know I'm not well, but I know every nurse, every director, and every facility around here are even looking for therapy. That was horrifying for me. And, you know, I read back into Zaneta from that, looking for therapy, but it was so hard because the best therapists, I knew them. I was friends with them. And it's like, you don't want to be vulnerable. And if you really saw me like that, then you really know me. And that was terrifying to me, because it was like, oh no, you're going to really know me. Then you'll have something to use against me. You
Right.
could be able to tell someone like, hey, she's really not that great. You
Right.
know why? She suffers
Wow.
from anxiety, and she has depression, and she
Wow.
doesn't think she's good enough. Hey, guess what? She's full of all this trauma, and all this has happened to her. Let me tell
Wow.
you, because it's
Yeah.
happened to me multiple times in my life when I've really let people very close to me, and it could
Wow.
be anything. I found that in someone I thought was very close to me. I've known for many years, just doing things, and I'm like, oh, but do you know? That's why she's a single parent. Or do you know that her former spouse was on drugs? And do you know, like, and I'm thinking, you would have to really know me, because when it would come back to me, like, how do you know this about me?
That's
And
crazy.
so it makes it so much harder for me to be able to do that work. And so when you have to be put in them situations, you're like, I have to be okay, because there's no one to help me. Everyone's going to judge me, or this is going to come back to harm my business or my children or my reputation. So I just have to deal with it, or pray Creator will bring someone in my life who will see me and still see me as a full person and not judge me.
That's right.
And I've been very blessed to have that, and to be sitting with both of you guys to say that you guys have played that significant role in my life means a lot, because there's most people that I've known for all my life who can't say that. And be like, whoa, you get more from Courtney than Courtney has ever shown anyone, because I don't become vulnerable with people. I'm vulnerable in a different kind of way. I'm vulnerable in my work, that I will touch you and hold space for you and love you and tell you you're beautiful and you're everything, but I'm not going to give you my hurt. I will never want to burden anyone with my pain, because I'm here to work on yours.
Wow. Isn't it amazing, the power of fear? The fear of, if I do this or I do that, how crippling, what is the phrase? Paralysis from analysis. You freeze in place and you don't do anything. The same thing with me. I had a choice. My spouse's health was one issue. I could have stayed in this marriage. Wasn't happy. Felt like I was less than a man because I'm being treated less than a man. A fear of what the folks would say, what people would say. You have to come to a point where you're like, I don't care. I'm gonna do me.
Yeah.
Thank God I made that decision, because I feel so free now. I don't feel bound.
Yeah.
I did not have a positive outlook about myself, because I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. So I had to take that drastic route for myself. Making decisions for yourself. How did my cousin put it? In order for you to be happy, you're going to piss somebody off.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen. So most of all, surround you with people that are going to encourage you and motivate you to break through whatever it is. But also have people who will tell you the truth about yourself too. Because my decision took a while, but I had people that really cared about me, and they told me about myself, but it was done in love. And having people that love you won't steer you wrong. And because of that, I'm able to shower that love back. So that's my philosophy.
That's good. I mean, I feel like, I think that's like a current struggle I'm going through now. Is I've been saying it more. I say I lost my business. And I really didn't lose my business. I just lost my business as I knew it. But I'm realizing I lost my business. I lost my identity in my business, and that's what I'm really grieving about. Because I've been struggling with really letting go of how I built my company, to present. You know, I said I have a group practice. I was always so proud that I was this young Black woman from St. Pete that built this practice with a bunch of other Black therapists, serving our community, taking Medicaid, which a lot of people don't do, doing insurance, private practice. Everybody wanted me to come speak here, and can you vendor here? Like, I didn't even mean to do it. I did it on accident, and it was great. But I realized that because I struggle with my own insecurity, knowing I'm enough, period, that this company was my identity. Like, like people know Zaneta for New Vision, and people know New Vision to be blah, 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 blah. Well, after October, I quickly, within like 72 hours, had to make a decision to dismantle New Vision in order to just keep something. So I got rid of about 90% of my therapists. I had to move out of my space. I had to go to quickly find a one-room space. I was broke. I had no money. Wells Fargo froze my accounts. I couldn't get any money in, any money out. I couldn't save my business if I wanted to, because I would have turned over every stone and added it at whatever dollar I could. I liquidated everything I had: my house, my federal savings, my retirement, everything, to pour in a New Vision. And when my bank accounts got froze, I was like, God, you got my hands tied. You literally will not let me save this.
Wow.
Yep. And here I am, still holding, 4 months later, still trying to hold on to this model, because I don't need people to know that New Vision is like I don't need people to know that it fell apart. I still need people to think that, hey, yeah, sure, you got somebody who wants therapy. Yeah, I got a therapist for them. And I don't. And finally, I was just like, Zaneta, it served its purpose in the season it was supposed to. Where you went wrong was not creating this business, but creating your identity in this business. What you're going through right now, this depression, is grief and loss. And it's okay, because you might not have lost a person, but you lost something that was valuable. Your identity created in it.
Oh, Zaneta.
So now I'm realizing that I don't have to be my work. Like, I can still find value in who I am. And what I have to contribute to this world is not in a company. It's my name means God's gracious gift. And he can use me on a mountaintop, or he can use me in a corporation. But I had to find that confidence in myself.
Oh, Zaneta.
Sorry, guys.
No. So that right there, we can't do. Don't be sorry. Be thankful and thank you, because look, as someone who saw you as you and you as you, New Visions, let me tell you something. The gift was always you. People didn't come for your therapist. They came for you. They wanted a piece of you. They wanted to hear you, see your photos, be in your presence in the space that you have built. You are so appreciated by so many people, and people love you, not for what that business is. Let me tell you that ain't it. It's about you and what you pour into people. You are God's gift. And we are thankful to have you, because you are able to speak into people who are unspoken to and not seen, or who are overly seen and never really seen. And I say that because I know that you have spoken life into me, where I've been in some bad spots, where I have lost everything and parts of myself, that I have given up everything. And you have spoken life into me when I really was in a bad spot. And just because it's just you, not because you're my therapist or because you were my friend, it'll be like, hey, I got a download. You got some time? Make some. We're going to talk right now. And it's a gift. I do it to other people, but it's very rare to have someone just like you give it just because God told you to. So you needed not that, because you really didn't need the other stuff. It's just you. And you will be bountiful. You will be infinite, it will come back tenfold because you deserve it. And there ain't
Easily.
no better person to do it but you.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Being from St. Pete, knowing what it is to do that, because that's me. 3 gems is who Courtney is. Courtney West is three gems, and 3 gems is Courtney West. Until now, then I'm like, no, I'm just me, and that's enough. But you've been enough, and you'll always be enough. No matter what you choose to do, it will flourish. People will look for you without the company. They're just gonna want you because you're amazing and you have something to give. But you also deserve to be poured into just as much as you pour into other people. So
most definitely,
as your cheerleaders over here, we are here to tell you, man, no, we see you. You are needed. Your voice is valid. Like, according to Courtney, wouldn't be here without you. I would have done this. I was not with it. You're like, you should do this. And without you and Troy, I was not doing this. Me and Troy went back and forth for over a month. I'm like, nope, I'm not. I don't have anything to say. No one's gonna watch this. No one's gonna believe in this. Why would anyone care about anything I had to say? It took y'all pointing to me to even dip my toe into this.
Yeah.
So trust and believe it matters.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you, Doc Z, there's only one Doc Z. And we say that lovingly because we know you don't have that paper, but you give us the encouragement, the go get it like a doctor would. You prescribe whatever comes to you and you share it with us, and we're already grabbing it and using it because we believe in what you have to say. And this is what I feel to tell you, man made plenty of buildings. It's not the building, it's the person. And God is empowering you and not the buildings. So don't worry about the location. Like Courtney said, that can be replaced and increased.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when God's trying to move you from one area to another. And because we're so, change can be terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded to me, it was very sudden. So you couldn't even have a preparation for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe he's going to bring you to better and greater things. So everybody is here for you. Trust.
Mm-hmm.
We are cheerleaders for you for sure. And I know you're going to do great. So this is just a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You're right, Courtney. I like how you said people were coming for me. Like they were wanting to get to know me. And and that in itself was scary because I'm just like, between my, my traumas and being taken advantage of from early as a child, I don't want you to come for me, I always wanted to shrink, the less you see me, the less vulnerable I am to your pain. Right.
Right.
And so I just wanted you to see my craft, and then that's it. Don't get close to me though, because and so it's an opportunity. I always say threat versus opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to redefine my value and my worth for real. You know what I'm saying? Like just redefine my value and my worth. And then be open to what's next. What's the next place? What's my next place of deployment? Where are you deploying me next? Who do you want me to touch? How do you want me to impact next? And know that I can do that. And it's okay. And people can say whatever they want to say. The next great person will come in and do it. And that's okay too. Yeah.
I love that. So this is my little therapy cat. Y'all have not really seen Missy. So if I'm overly if my anxiety is high or I'm just really feeling something, she's just decides to hop up. It's very annoying. It happened a lot during midwifery school. She'll pop up and be like, "It's fine. I'm gonna sit on you. We're okay." And then she'll leave me alone. So she's like, I hear a lot of emotion, so I'm here now.
Oh, that is so cute. Is she trained? Is she a trained therapy cat? It's just kind of.
So it's very interesting. She was my aunt's cat who passed away. She was in a wheelchair And she was a very proud woman. And so she had no children, anything. She had this cat. And so when she passed away, I went to go empty my aunt's house out and get her affairs in order. So she jumped on me and started to cry. And then I started to cry. And so I noticed anybody who's in a high emotional vibration in our house, she just gravitates to them and she will get on their chest and just sit there. Her name is Missy Day. I said, if that ain't the most witchiest name for a cat. So I that's just who she is. And she's always been that way. But I think because I feel like she was just some old lady. She's an old lady cat. Like she just been with an old lady, and my aunt suffered with deep depression, deep anxiety. But she was the most amazing woman I had ever met. Like she was just super cool. She got so many nurses there built up so many people, had businesses, traveled all over the world, but was one of the most loneliest, depressed people ever. So the answer to that is she was trained very well by someone like that who didn't let anybody see her vulnerabilities until she didn't have a choice. And so she's just been like that. And so it worked out for me when she came because I was so anti-animal. I appreciate people who love animals. The animal that I really appreciated were my chickens. Why? Because they gave me eggs. And so it was a transactional love. I feed you, I keep you alive because you bring me food. That's it. But like to have an animal again was like just not into my scope of practice because I was so busy. So when I got her, they're like, well, we're going to take her to the pound. I'm like, we cried together, we bonded. So
that ain't happening.
She's sitting next to my leg, like, I see you. You good now? Okay, I'll need you on camera, but you close enough.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
So if I may be so bold, can I take this time for us to pause?
Yes.
And we can play our Blast Artist spotlight. I love the cat though. Mine are somewhere roaming around.
Maybe I need a cat.
You might need a cat.
My daughter said I needed a cat. I was like, I don't need a cat. She was like, you act like a cat. I was like,
oh, geez.
We're going to talk about that because that's what my cousin and my daughters, we all are cat-like people. My cousin tells me all the time. She's like, you gotta move like a cat. Like you so funky acting. You like to be touched, but they will swat you at the same time. I'm like, yeah. I like to be touched when I feel it's necessary, but I don't like to be touched unless I've invited the touching. So
that's the cat part, yeah.
It's the cat part.
Yeah.
We're going to get you a cat. We'll meet up.
So the Blast Artist that we have today is my girl, Heck of a Mecca, and this song is called Reflections. Let's check it out.
As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now, look in the mirror, tell me what you see. See. You don't see me like I see me. You don't see me like I see me, nah. You don't see me like I see me. A black guy, a black queen. You don't see me like I see me. You don't see me like I see me, nah. But I see you like I see me. You're a black guy, a black queen. Look in the mirror, tell me what you see. I mean, do you really see a hoe? Society calls you bitch, but you are not a dog. It's the other way around, baby girl. You are a god. I know you probably never heard of this, so I suggest you take a hold of this. Yeah, it's some people on this boat that's poking holes in it, but we gon' patch it up anyway and just float on it. People say we don't reflect God, but we the co-creators with God. So if somebody got a problem, then that's their problem. They need to take that up with God, cause we've been here since the beginning. Team black girl, yeah, we winning, but we gotta stop with the division. Where light is right and black is whack, that's superstition. Cause Willie lynched us regardless of the difference, but we don't get it, A reflection of you, you're a reflection of me. We're a reflection of God, and Inside us is the key. We hold the secrets of the universe, produce the universal kings. We produced Martin with the dream. We produced Elijah, Kareem, and we produced Farrakhan on the scene, yeah. But you don't see me like I see me. But you don't see me like I see me, nah. You don't see me like I see me. A black god, a black queen. But I see you like I see me. But I still see you like I see me, yeah. I see you like I see me, yeah. A black god, a black queen. A black god, a black queen. Black god, a black queen. You don't see me like I see me. A black god, a black queen. A black god, a black queen. A black god, a black queen. But I see you like I see me. Royalty. Look in the mirror, tell me what you see. Do you really see a nigga? Do you really see a thug? Do you see a drug dealer? Do you really see a savage or a beast or a killer? Well, I don't. I know you've got a lot to carry, a wide load. They changed your name from Kuta Kinte into John Doe. You say your eyes is wide open, but your mind closed. Cause you don't think that you a god. But I know that you got more to offer than what shows. Your dirt's been exposed, but you gotta dig deep to find gold. To find gems, to find gold, that's what you are. Ain't nobody gotta tell you you a star. That's why you want the finer things, the gold chains and the diamond rings. Cause the king deserve it all, no LeBron. You're a reflection of me, I'm a reflection of you. We're a reflection of God, and inside us is the truth. You are the creator of the universe, the sun, the stars, and the moon. Anything you think you can do. Don't you know your mind is a womb? Your thoughts can give birth to something new. But you don't see you like you should see. You don't see you like you should see, nah. You don't see you like you should see. You're a black god, a black king. But I see you like you should see. But I still see you like you should see, yeah. I see you like you should see. You're a black god, a black king. Black god, a black king. Black god, a black king. Yeah. She don't see you like you should see. You're a black god, a black king. A black god, a black king. A black god, a black king. But I see you like you should see. You're royalty.
Alrighty. And that was Heck of a Mecca with Reflections. And if you are an independent artist or a spoken word poet or up and coming comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans of great music. So if you'd like to register as a fan, you can go to blastmusic247.com, register as an unlimited fan, and have access to hundreds of independent music. Blast. We're constantly changing the industry, one artist at a time. Okay, back to the show.
Hi, if you've just joined us on According to Courtney, we've been really deep diving into what imposter syndrome is on this episode, but also, when you get us together, we just be talking, and we were backstage just having a whole life session. And I kind of want to come back into that, about when it comes into relationships with men and women, and how not only imposter syndrome comes up, but about that vulnerability portion of that. Mm-hmm. And Troy, you were like giving us some gems and some nuggets over here about like how men show up in these relationships and what it's like to be able to be vulnerable enough to say how you're feeling.
Mm-hmm. As I had shared with them, I wasn't raised with a father. It was just my mom. My mom was my mom, my dad, my coach, my teacher, my disciplinarian, my chef. You know what I'm saying? She was everything, my Uber. So I didn't know any other voice but hers when it came to this or that. And being an adult myself and having some wonderful kids that God has blessed me with, And you know, I even thank God the divorce wasn't as nasty as it could have been. It was bad enough because divorce just comes with emotional BS. That's just a part of the package. You go through a divorce, there is no smooth walking in and out of it. There's going to be collateral damage. And my daughter is my firstborn. She stayed with her mom while my son came and stayed with me. And until my daughter moved in with me after us trying to sell the house, she explained to me that I didn't know how much your presence meant to me until you were gone. And I don't consider myself that big of a dude, so I would think like that, but women have a whole different feeler than a man does. Yeah. She meant emotionally. She meant, I mean, this is going to sound weird, but some women get this. Right down to your scent. When it's not there and they're used to that, it's disruptive to them. And I didn't get that because, you know, I say this to Dimples. I'm a typical male, and I throw that to her to let her know that I'm going to do typical male stuff because I'm a male, you know, and it's not that I'm trying to be mean. I'm just being how God designed me. And I don't, you know, emotionally feel a lot of things like you guys may. So my son has been with me the most. We actually built a better bond because it's a whole different atmosphere. Because before I had to caregive and now I didn't know what to do with myself. I mean, shoot, when it was just me and no kids, I was really loving life. I was really being selfish, but I had no choice because it was just me. But the power of choosing to be present to your kids. You may not have all the answers, and I don't have all the answers. I don't have the manual of how to be the great dad, and I'm sure there's books that say that. But I'm going to tell you the one main ingredient is just being present. Sometimes just not saying anything and just being there, ready to listen, ready to answer whatever questions they have. Because me and my son actually talk more than we've ever talked, and there was no beef or nothing. It's just that he's seeing perspectives for him being a young man and how he has to develop. What better source to go to is his father's right there. And again, being present, I was there and I was available. And, you know, God be the glory that I had these opportunities to share with him. And now my daughter's with me. We're starting to learn, you know, her being older and her being, this one caught me off guard. And I told Dimples about this. Valentine's Day. All right, Daddy, I won't be home tonight. I'm going out on the dinner. Now, I had, since she turned 18, had learned to respect her privacy. That's me. The mother, not so much, but that's on her, not on me. So I said, all right, have fun, just be safe. Now, Dimples is like, where's she going? I'm like, I don't know, babe. Who's she going with? I don't know, babe. She's like, you know, again, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We have different perspectives on things. But I said, if she needs anything, she'll call me. And she has no problem calling me when she needs something. That's just been my philosophy. So it just set me back that this is a grown woman now. And, you know, I'm here to see her mature and see the little eaglet fly out the nest, you know. And it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. So.
And you're still able to do that, and even though you're not directly in the home anymore, you know, you still value and prioritize presence. And yeah, you know how important it is to still be present. And that's all. They just want to know, are you still gonna be daddy? Are you still gonna be there for me? Am I still gonna have access to you? And you know, if the more you're able to reassure them of that, like, yeah, even though you're not in the home, you won't skip a beat because you still were present.
And I think that's awesome that you're also getting this opportunity now that they are in the home with you. You do have both of your kids with you now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm sorry. They're both with me now.
Yeah, so that's why. But having both perspectives of you not being there in the house, but still being present. And then now that they're both with you, and
Right.
being present at this point in their lives, that's a different type of relationship to be able to sit with somebody and be like, okay.
Very true. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
And
right.
which makes
Yeah.
it so phenomenal. Which, I always like to give Troy, not always. I recently have been
Tell
really
the
like
truth.
giving Troy his merits, because it's not easy that you tell someone like, yo, I really admire you, but like Troy is present. Like he is present for us as people who work for Blast. He's present with his children, and I had to tell like, yo, like you rare. This is beautiful. As a person who was not raised with that, I had never seen it. Like I was raised with my grandmother and my mother and my aunts, and I appreciate them, but I had never seen a man present that's there for everyone just because, and there's nothing to it. It's just is.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing else. And I think that is something beautiful to that. And that, hey, you get your snaps, all the things, because it's like, I want one of those. When I grow up, I'm gonna get me one of them. And also, or when you're having that, in relationships and things, now that I have that in my life and I've never had that before, it's like, oh, that's what that was. Troy be doing that stuff. Okay, so this is what you be doing. So this stuff is normal. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there really are men out there who do X, Y, and Z. There really are men who could be faithful. Men get painted this, or women get this narrative that, men cheat and the dating pool got pee in it, and it does. And these men aren't this and that, but there are men who value integrity, who value love and commitment, and who are willing to marry women still and date exclusively, And so when you get that, it's like, wow, like, and for me, I was always looking around the corner like, like it's gotta be something. Like it's gotta be something. That was me. It was too good to be true. It was too good to be true. Period.
Wow.
Absolutely. I'm still learning and getting used to the fact that it's like things can be okay. And being with someone going on 5 years, that cheating has never been a thing. It's never come up. It's never, and we'll tell you, I ain't got time for that. I have a home. I'm loyal. This is it. And to be like, being truthful and being honest, like these men are, this is cool. This is like, this is my family. And to hear a man be so solid about like that and so protective of that, like, no, you can't just be around my family. I'm good. Yeah, and it's like, y'all are cool. I like it. And to be like, I've seen Troy do this, so this is okay. All right, keep doing it.
No, I appreciate the compliments. I do not walk on water. I do not glow in the dark or anything weird like that. It's a choice. I made a choice of a certain lifestyle I want to live, and having a woman that, delivers all my needs and wants. Then there's nothing else I need except just to cultivate. And we always remind ourselves of what brought us together.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you forget that, it starts to lose its shine, and then the eyes start to wander. I don't want that. I'm not interested in that. She's amazing. She makes me laugh. We have good time every time we see each other. And I want to grow old with her, and that's a fact. She's great people.
Beautiful.
That is. I love that. I think a real relationship that I've learned, and I can say honestly, I've had imposter syndrome with almost every relationship I've been in until recently.
Wow.
And I can own that, because I always felt like if I didn't show up in this person, if I didn't do exactly what they wanted in this type of way, I wouldn't. I was taught love with conditions. I'll love you as long as you're doing what I want you to do. I will love you and give you the respect that you want as long as you fall into place. And I know that's what really poured into my imposter syndrome. Hard. Because that's all I knew. That if I don't do this, you won't love me. And this was the first time that I could say and was told, I will love you regardless. And this person seen me on my best day and my worst day, after birth, after the death of a baby, after the joy of the highs, the lows, when I thought I'd have nothing and someone still stood by me no matter what.
Mhm.
I didn't know what that looked like. It was the first time I could ever be truly vulnerable, to be like, this is who I am. I'm not perfect. I have lots of flaws. I have my ways. I don't trust, and love me through it. Like, it's tough when you tell a man, yeah, man, I may never marry you because I had horrible experience. And if you do, you're going to have to jump through this hoop, this hoop, this hoop. I want to do therapy. I want to do it because I want to do it right. And a person say, and that is okay. And you deserve that. And we will take as long as we need to, because I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, I love that for you.
I do. I needed that. And I didn't know I needed that. And that they meant it was like, okay, all right.
I definitely have a question when you get a moment. Go ahead.
What's your question?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut your stride.
No. What's the question?
Is it important for you to hear a man say something like that? Because I said that to Dimples, because bad marriage, worse boyfriend afterwards, and she's pretty much was fine with not being in love again. And then I come along and I said, look, you told me to give you some time. I'm gonna give you all the time you need, but I'm not going anywhere. I know what I want. I'm here. Is that kind of important?
That was everything. That was absolutely everything, because you have to understand, every man in my life has left.
Right.
No one has ever been consistent, or like my godfather's the only consistent man in my entire life. And he lives in Tallahassee, and then his life couldn't afford him to be with me the way I wanted to be with him. No one has ever stayed. I don't know what that looks like. Or like, I have a god brother I love very dearly, but for a long time I pushed him away because no one ever stays. I don't know what that looked like. So this was the first time to say I want to tell you, I love you and I'm going to stay with you because you're worth it and you mean the world to me.
Yeah.
To someone who's never had that is everything.
Yeah.
And not only to say it, but to mean it.
Yeah.
If you mean that shit.
Yeah.
Now you've changed my whole world around.
Now you can take your gloves off,
right,
and get out of this defensive mode and actually allow your defenses to come down and truly be seen and loved in the way that you really deserve and may have always wanted. And see, for me, it was the other way around. I was the leaver. You're not leaving me. I'm the leaver. And so I had one guy break up with me, and it devastated my world because I actually thought that was the one. And I was like, I met my match. What do you mean? You leaving before I leave? You a faster runner than I am? And that tore my ego apart, but it gave me a dose of my own medicine. So because my fear caused me to run from relationships, when things got harder, when I saw things like we were arguing, I'm like, so you want to break up? You want to break up? It's over. I was always, he was like, why are you always looking for the end? He was like, no, we gonna have an argument. We might not talk for 24 hours because he need time to thaw out. He was like, but I ain't going nowhere. Like this, we gonna come back and move on. And I was just like, so every time it's a little argument, I'm just now getting used to not asking him if we want to break up. Like, what you want to do? What you want to do? And so, to know that good, bad, ugly, and indifferent, this person sees the value in doing life with me.
Yes.
He sees me. He sees what's good in me enough to say, you know what? Yes, she got her issues, but this is worth us. This is worth us working through. Yeah. So we got to do it. We got to do a, I'm going to do, you're not doing this, Courtney. I'm going to do one.
I want you to do, no. You can have the next one. I want you to do this because I think this is such a beautiful conversation to have. And I've even asked my spouse, I said, would you ever, if it ever came up, would you have this conversation with me in this type of form? And he said, yeah. And I was like, you would?
We bringing him on. We bringing him on, and I'm gonna bring my guy, and Troy gonna bring. What you call her?
I'll bring Dimples.
I love that. So if you knew her, she has the dimples. So it makes sense.
I seen her once, and I don't remember Dimples.
She probably wasn't smiling, but when she smiled, boy, they in there. Woof.
Okay, yeah, she
When
was.
she starts talking about Troy, it goes. I was like, it's super cute. You're like, oh my god,
Oh, cute. Yes.
it's really
Yeah.
awesome. But yes, this is so your show. You should so do it because it does something to you when someone is like, no matter what, I got you. It's like, that's better than like the flowers and stuff. Like, I mean, bring that too. But when you say stuff
No,
like
I got
that,
you.
and you walk in it and you really mean it.
Yeah.
What? We
Yeah.
in there. To me, that's like, what, you want security with
Right.
me?
Right. And with good women like us, men just don't really. And I tell me, look, once I know that you are committed, you are faithful, and you're going to be there for me, you can get almost anything. You get a whole nother version of a woman that not any other man has had. Like, I will, yes. That I will be a complete gift. Like,
I will, yes.
Yes,
I love it.
yes. That's the best way to put it. I will, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm gonna show, like, yeah, but that's all I need is safety and security.
Right.
Once a man showed me he can give me that, he gets the best version of me ever. He gets
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely. I could say that. I will say though, my reaction with other people when they ask me, I'm like, because I don't want them too close to my happiness because I'm so used to not having it. I don't share it with everybody. You might get little bits and pieces of it. I'm like, we good. That's it. But you may not get to see. Back to imposter syndrome. I don't mean I want you to see me that authentically happy. I may not want you in my space like that. I have to really love you and really trust you to allow you in my space with my true happiness. Because anything negative you try to bring with it, I will just get rid of you.
Yeah.
And I've had to explain that to people like, well, why don't you do this? Because that's a facet of my life that I'm so secure and so comfortable and so in love with. I can't have that disrupted for nothing. If I think you might try to disrupt it, I'd rather just not deal with you in that kind of capacity. Working on that. But I've noticed I'm still, and we've been together almost 5 years, but I'm still very like, But I'll tell you this, any event or anything I've ever done, anytime anything starts, he's the person who's on the phone with me to make sure that I'm good in any capacity. Even if he's not physically there, he's always physically there. And so
got it.
That's good enough for me.
That's amazing.
Love it.
So we hit our hour. This was so amazing. Okay, so next show will be on Doc Z's channel because we're gonna rework this because this was amazing. I want to say thank you guys for being vulnerable and sharing space and just doing and having this conversation, which I promise you over a year ago before Zaneta brought it to me would never have happened. I would have never done this. So thank you guys for giving me the space and opportunity to share this type of vulnerability with you guys and with everyone else.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad you said yes and you realize that there is plenty for you to talk about and the world needs to know who you are, what you do, and the value of just you being you. And so, according to Courtney, according to Courtney, it's everything, not just doula or birthing, everything, just life, because you can relate to in so many other spaces besides doula work. And the world needs to hear you, Courtney.
I appreciate it. And I want to shout out myself and give my kudos to you guys. I actually have a special being done on me in our local news, NBC News, portion in our area. And I would have never taken this interview if I wouldn't have worked with you guys to feel comfortable enough in myself to allow anything, because it's a story on me and my journey in the work that I've done, the work I've done in the community, but also in my upbringing. I would have never allowed anyone, especially a news broadcaster, to sit down and talk to me in that type of capacity. I've done news things in the past, but you weren't going to get up. I would make it very clear at the beginning. So we're going to talk about this, 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 and this. You can ask me this and this and this. Actually, I came with my own questions. Here you go. Let's go. And be dead serious. And they'd be like, oh shit. Okay, cool. But they were running with it. With this one, she's like, I just want you to talk. So I thank you guys, and I appreciate you
Wow.
guys. It actually comes on because this will air on Saturday in the morning. It comes on at 7 o'clock that evening. So thank you guys for
Okay.
sharing this space in such a big moment in my life. But I wouldn't have done this without you guys. So I thank you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Yes. Congratulations. I look forward to hearing it.
I'm excited to see it and to see what it is. So thank you guys. And Troy, I thank you for letting me which y'all don't know is I put Troy on the spot. And I was like, hey, guess what? You're gonna shoot with me today. Yay. And he changed his shirt and got ready in like 2.5 seconds and did this. So thank you for
You're
allowing me to be me and
No
to
doubt.
just do this with me and hold space. So I appreciate you guys in the space. And to my viewers, you are loved, you are seen, you are heard. Join me every Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. to fill your cup and to know that you're valued. And until next time, you guys take care.
All right.
See everybody.
Bye, you guys.